I take the ball out, boom, boom. I'm staying in the hotel behind the facility. So I would jump the fence. And I go home, I call my mother. She's like, how is it? I said, Ma, I just saw the greatest player of all time. She said, it took you that long to admit it. I go, yeah, it took me this long to admit it. But I just saw him play in tennis shoes, no tape, no knee brace, no wristband.
All right, welcome back to the channel, everyone. Hope you all are having a good day so far. I had a request and never said yes to a request so fast. Of course, I'm going to react to this video. This is called The Greatest New Michael Jordan Stories of 2024. And this is from Squad Dawkins. And it's always quality stuff from Squad. And the reason I'm excited about this is because this says news stories as of 2024. And this thing just came out a couple of days ago. So yeah, this is definitely something exciting for me because I do hear kind of the same stories over and over again. And though they never get old, I would love some fresh stories. So I'm curious to see if there's any in here I haven't seen yet. Hopefully there are. And there's only one way to find out. So as I always do, I'm going to link the original video from Squad down below. That's going to be in the description box for you guys if you want to check out the channel. Highly recommend it, not just for this video, but for a ton of other videos on Squad Dawkins' channel. Fantastic basketball content. And yeah, so it's there for you. Everybody else, please leave this video a like so we can pump out these stories. Without further ado, I don't want to wait anymore. Let's get into it. It's going to be a longer one. All right, 35-minute video. Let's do this.
Michael Jordan is widely regarded as one of the most competitive players in NBA history.
Sports history.
While he had numerous friendships across the league, it was often revealed that he would strategize against his friends during games, with Charles Barkley being a notable example.
Wow, narration on this one. Cool.
Our weekend, however, was a different story. Since the game had no stakes and was purely an exhibition for the fans, there was no need for strategic planning. Jordan understood this, and right before the 1996 All-Star Game, MJ gave us another classic GOAT moment. Here's Penny talking on this incident at the Knuckleheads podcast.
Yeah, he pulled his pants down.
He I'm getting ready to be announced, and he started moving closer to me. I'm like, MJ, you know you going last, bro. What you coming over here for? Like, you know you ain't about to, I'm not going after you, so what you doing? I didn't know what he was doing. He just kept inching like he was sitting closer. And I guess he had already told Scotty or somebody, I'm about to do the snap off or whatever. And bro, I walk out, and he snapped them Jones, and I had to hold my pants, and I looked back, he's just laughing like I'm wrong or something. It's crazy, but I'm like, hey man, that was an ultimate compliment to me because that made me feel like, you know, that he was like, he respected me and who I was.
Here's MJ during the game when he was...
Not only, yeah, it really was the case. There was no hard feelings per se that Penny just got done beating him in the playoffs in 95. Or actually, that was 95, 90. This is the 96 All-Star game? So that means, okay, Penny beat MJ in the playoffs 95 after he came out. MJ beat Penny in 96. Okay, so this is right before the revenge. No, man, when Jordan was retiring, when he was retired, he spoke out and said Penny is like the new guy, you know, because they were asking him like who's the next Jordan or who's the next one to carry the torch, and he was saying Penny Hardaway, and then I think he mentioned Grant Hill too. So him doing this with Penny means he likes him for damn sure.
Asked about that moment.
Well, I've done it a couple of years. I did it to Joe Dumars one year, but it all started when someone did it to me my first couple of years. So I decided to pass it along.
The 2022 All-Star.
That's so cool. And also you can tell the second time around after Jordan's retirement, like that second repeat, MJ was having a lot more fun. He was having a lot more fun knowing that his time is limited.
Our weekend in Cleveland was a big celebration for the NBA's 75th anniversary. One of the highlights was honoring the 75 greatest players of all time. For Damian Lillard, the weekend felt unreal as he got to be around so many basketball legends. But for Lillard, the best part wasn't all of that. It was when Michael Jordan finally showed up.
We walk out of the room where we take the big picture.
Real quick, can anybody tell me why Dame is top 75? How did that happen? No offense to his game. He's good. He's a solid basketball player, but top 75 all time already?
And when we walk out, it's like all these cameras like this. You know what I mean? There's so many stars and all these legends in here. And when we get in the hallway, you see MJ walking towards us. He wasn't even in there for the big picture.
He just got there.
He just got there. So he's walking, and there's more cameras on just him by himself than it is on all of us.
The
And it
other
was like, that's
76.
when you really saw the difference of like,
74.
man, this dude the GOAT.
Yeah.
Like when he was walking, everybody was just staring at him.
Yeah.
Like even all the people that was
Like the
he
top
glowing,
75 looking at
the
him.
other 74 was looking at him like he was walking up. He walked up. It was like he just took over the
Well, I know
whole situation.
Was that your first time meeting him? Because before you said you hadn't met Mike before.
I still ain't never met him.
You just looked at him.
Look, I was sitting there. I was standing next to Clyde. And I just was staring at him like, because all the lights was on him, and it was just like, man, that's Jordan. Like,
he's glowing. In
I'm
that
looking at him
He
like his
glowing.
arms ain't his hands. Like, I'm just looking at him like, damn. I ain't say nothing to him. Then they lined us up, and we all walked out. The whole time, I ain't say nothing. I just was looking like,
That's
I'm just looking
starstruck.
like, damn. I was looking around at everybody, but like when he came out, it was like unreal.
Yeah.
That was how
How
it felt.
loud it was, how everybody like, if you looked around the arena, it was nothing but stars there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Like we would all recognize these people as stars, and how they even was looking at them was like, they felt small too. You know what I mean? Like everybody was just like, it's Jordan.
Another legend.
That's so crazy. But yeah, I remember watching that moment too, and you got 74 stars plus an audience full of stars, and everyone is in awe of seeing Michael Jordan. That's just how you know you're on a different level. I always say it. There's Jordan, then there's everyone else. Like everyone else can fight for second, but you know, and we all have our opinions on who's second and who's third and yada yada. But everybody else can fight for that spot. MJ's all alone on top of that mountain, and it just is what it is. You see, if I saw Jordan, I'd do the same. I'd like to say I would shake his hand or like ask to shake his hand or say hi. I'd probably just stare at him.
That was in awe by Jordan that night was the great D. Wade. On an episode of Carmelo Anthony's podcast, Wade, among the players on the anniversary team, shared one moment that stood out for him as he first noticed MJ in the room.
Yeah, this is funny.
When he walked through,
Just aura, that's it.
everything
Just aura,
changed.
yeah.
You know when the coolest person walk in the room?
Yeah. You cool until the coolest
Coolest
nigga
person
walk in the
walk
room, yeah.
And these guys know Jordan on more of a personal level. Carmelo and D Wade.
Man, when MJ came in and get silence, everybody was like, oh.
He sizing
Right
niggas
away.
up from the tunnel.
Right away.
Stop it.
He walking past you. Yeah, man, I'd bust your ass. Like he sizing everybody up.
Bust your ass.
You saw the
up, bust
clip
your
with
ass.
him and Magic that went viral, right?
Yeah, I loved it.
That's the old dog right there. That's the old dog. Boy, where your shoes at? We go play one-on-one, me and you right now.
That was right.
Okay, real quick. Let me. I never really took a close look at this one to see who else is there. Oopsie. Come on, you amateur. Speed, playback speed. There we go. Okay, and then I'm gonna mute it. Okay, let me see. Okay, who's right here? Is that D Wade? Is that why he was saying it? I know I got J Kidd here. Is that Wade? Looking like him. I got Gary Payton here. It's obviously Magic with his little squeaky laugh. I can't really see anybody else. Is that Harden back there? And is that Steph? I think I think I identified everybody. It was hard to tell who that first guy was, if that was Wade or not. But yeah, they were talking trash. They were saying like get your shoes, lace them up, let's go. Like it was still 1990 or 1991 or something. Oh crap! Hold up, let me unmute this. Okay.
Way. And I was, and
Shoes at? We go play one-on-one, me and you right now.
that
There
was
it is.
right away. And I was, and that's the moment where I was just sitting there and I'm like, I'm listening to Jordan
Yeah.
and Magic
Yeah.
talk shit.
Really
my-
talk shit though.
Yo.
Like, put your sneaks on, let's go right now. And I'm like,
I'll tear your ass up right now.
are they serious?
Yeah,
Meta Sandiford
they were serious. They were serious. They'll be feuding until for the rest of their lives. Those two.
Artest, previously legally named Meta World Peace, is one of the most fearless and dynamic players in NBA history.
Yeah, he's got
Known
some
for
good
his
Jordan
relentless
stories.
defense and physical style of play, Meta earned an NBA
I'm sorry. This is so messed up. But every single time it shocks me.
history. Known for his relentless
Yeah.
defense and physical style of play, Meta earned an NBA championship in 2010 with the Los Angeles Lakers and was named Defensive Player of the Year in 2004. We've already heard the story about Meta breaking Jordan's ribs during
Yeah.
MJ's comeback attempt in the 2001 summer.
I
But
know.
recently, Meta shared some new details about that incident.
Okay.
I played against Mike for the first time in the summertime when I accidentally broke his rib. In the summertime, Mike go hard everywhere. Am I right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So Mike, I was 19, and I don't think he realized how strong I was coming in. He was posting up, and I was like denying fundamental and on this
Three-quarter.
side and three-quarter,
Yeah.
and just moved his arm out the way, light work. And then my elbow hit him in the ribs, cracked his ribs. And then I broke his rib accidentally. Then he called me and said, don't worry about it, young fella. I know what they saying in the media, but I want you to come back. And then to play against him
that's awesome.
in the season. If you look at the pictures online,
That's awesome. So after something like that, he's still like, no, come back, because Ron is obviously playing hard and he needs to play against people who are playing hard to get ready for the season.
we always tangled up. If you look at me and Mike, Wizards versus the Bulls, that's how we played every day in Chicago. Every day. So it wasn't a thing where I was in awe. Like Mike is Mike to us. I got a chance to meet Mike. 3 times on the court in Chicago a lot of times. Then he invited me to his office in Chicago. I got a chance to sit with Mike.
That must have been cool.
Man, that's incredible, man. You kidding me?
Office in Chicago? Did he mean Washington? Or like Charlotte?
Yeah, I was in the office. He had the little poster when he hit the game winner. He was talking about the poster. Yeah, you see their face? He said, it's not the shot. He said, look at their face. And then the last time I spoke to him was the Brawl. He was the only player that called me.
Whoa.
Really?
Yep, Mike, MJ, man. I remember the call. He was like, I'm going to try to get you back. So when he said, I'm going to get back, I said, oh, shit, I'm back. I'm like, all right. It don't even matter. February, March, good. But MJ, you ain't that powerful, man. I ain't never come back. They only had one Jordan player at the time. Only one person could wear Jordan on the team. I don't know if you remember. So I said, I'm playing against MJ. I need the Jordans. I was wearing Nike. I said, I need them Jordans. They was like, nah, Reggie Miller wearing the Jordans. I said, Reggie, can you tell these dudes to give me some Jordans? He's like, nah, you can't get Jordans. So I drove after shoot around, drove to Chicago, 3 hour ride. Went to the Nike store, bought some Jordans.
Really?
Drove back. Yeah, you'll see Jordans on my feet playing against. I'm not gonna play against MJ without Jordans.
Yeah.
Y'all crazy, Nike. Y'all crazy, man. Just send me the Jordans.
The host of the podcast.
Oh man, what's the takeaway on that one? Yeah, I knew about the ribs thing. I'm curious about what this office was that they were meeting in. Maybe it was a Chicago office if it had a picture of that shot. But what would that talk be? What would he be doing in an office in Chicago? I'm curious. It seems like there's a lot more things that Jordan has done behind the scenes that I'll ever really truly understand. Like things he's done post-retirement. Awesome that he reached out to David Stern on Ron Artest's behalf, though. That's cool. A guy who he literally kind of ruined Jordan's comeback for the Wizards by shattering his ribs. And there's no hard feelings because he respects the guy and how he plays. So he's even trying to get him out of trouble after the Malice in the Palace. That's a straight up dude, MJ.
Podcast, Byron Scott is a 3-time NBA champion with the Los Angeles Lakers during their Showtime era in the 1980s. Having played against MJ in his prime, Scott shares just how ruthless the GOAT was on the court.
MJ had a different mindset than any player I've ever played against. MJ had and Kobe's the closest to it.
Yeah, Kobe was incredible.
MJ had I'ma kill you mindset. I'm gonna destroy you on the basketball court. I'm gonna beat you so bad you don't want to see me the next time you play me.
100%.
Yeah, that was his mindset.
Yep.
100%.
And so when you say, you throw LeBron in there, but yeah, MJ definitely, because MJ wanted to destroy you, but he loved that smoke. Like you said, if you could guard him, he got nothing but mad respect. You can't guard him, but you give him hell,
Yeah.
he got nothing but mad respect for you. You know what I'm saying?
Wait.
You said, you throw LeBron in there, but yeah.
you say you could throw LeBron in there, but
MJ definitely because
MJ's definitely the GOAT. I see what you were saying. I see what you didn't want to finish. Okay.
For you. You know what I'm saying?
And his defense was
Oh,
incredible.
his defense. Man, Black Cat was off the chain, man.
Because when I was a kid, I would watch MJ. I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to do that on offense. But his defense, I'm like, hold on, this guy's an incredible defender.
Yeah.
You know, and then I'm like, oh, I want to be like that on defense. So that was one of the inspirations on defense. It wasn't even really I never aspired to be like him on offense.
The 1995.
That's interesting because Ron Artest was actually a really good offensive player, and then he became that defensive lockdown player.
NBA Eastern Conference semifinals.
And it looks like he was influenced by MJ for his defense.
I never aspired to be like him on offense.
The 1995 NBA Eastern Conference semifinals featured the Magic facing off against the Bulls, marking Michael Jordan's return to playoff action after his 1993 retirement. However, the time away from basketball had seemingly taken...
Look how skinny he is. Look at those arms and his legs. He was so skinny.
...taken a toll on MJ's sharpness, and it showed on the floor as the Magic won Game 1. Riding high on the win, Magic guard Nick Anderson confidently quipped, 45 isn't 23,
Yep.
referring to Jordan's New Jersey number.
This is great. We were just talking about this in the comments because of that Penny Hardaway podcast.
Despite the Bulls' determined effort, the Magic won the series 4-2 and advanced to the NBA Finals, where they fell to the Houston Rockets. But for MJ, this was just the beginning of the story, as he sought redemption the following year. Here's how Magic guard at the time, Darryl Armstrong, broke down those events.
I did not know.
Oh, cool.
Nick Anderson said he wasn't the same. 45 is not 23. Oh, Lord. I would have said, man, y'all, you don't shut the fuck up. What is you doing?
I would too.
You don't get this man no feel.
Yeah.
What did you do? So when I saw that, I was like, oh my God. Jordan's trainer, like, when you want to start? He said, tomorrow, lifting weights.
Yep.
And he said, all he kept thinking was Orlando. Man, they played us there was Shaq last time in Orlando. They played us, they swept us. But I never forget this, and you can go back and look at the stat sheet. Horace couldn't do nothing, put his head down and just laugh. It was on the free throw line right in front of us. Jordan, all Scotty was talking shit. Boy, Jordan had 2 free throws at the end of the game.
Oh, yeah.
He hit the first one and missed the second one on purpose. And we was like, what the fuck you doing, you know? Somebody said, look at the scoreboard. He left 45 on the scoreboard. You know Jordan petty, you know, motherfucker.
He is.
He left 45 for last year on the scoreboard.
Yep.
In the 90s,
it's incredible, and he did it on purpose by missing that last free throw. Who the hell does that? So 45 becomes 23 again, and then the final thing he lets them remember in the final game of the playoffs, as they're sweeping them embarrassingly, 45 points on the scorecard. Like, the man is crazy.
being an NBA player meant competing in the shadow of the Bulls' unmatched dominance, led by MJ. From intense practices to MJ's alleged mind games, the Bulls did whatever it took to win 6 NBA titles. Not everyone viewed Jordan's approach positively. Knicks coach at the time, Jeff Van Gundy, once claimed that MJ was a con man who used fake friendships to gain a competitive edge over opponents. According to Van Gundy, Jordan would befriend rival players to make them let their guard down, only to dominate them on the court the next game. Jordan didn't...
he talked about this in his Hall of Fame speech too, Jordan. And it was hilarious because you get to see Pat Riley in there. The camera zooms in on Pat Riley, and Pat's just laughing his ass off at this whole thing. He was like, "What's that little guy? The little guy, Jeff Van Gundy."
Take the comment lightly, responding with a 51-point performance against Van Gundy's Knicks and some mid-game trash talk to make sure his message was clear. Now, years later, Van Gundy reflects on the greatness of Michael Jordan during an episode of the Mark Jackson podcast.
The best player in any one game to win it, if you had to put all the marbles to state it, there's a lot of ones that you could go with, but my personal one, I would take Jordan to win one game. I think the combination of athleticism, skill, will, was something, people used to ask, like, what was the name of that special, that ESPN thing they did on him on
Last Dance?
What was the name of that? Last Dance, right?
Yes.
They said, you watched The Last Dance. I said, no, I lived it.
Uh-huh.
And so I,
Yeah.
because, he got 55, like, against, he had a double nickel coming back off baseball.
Yep.
10 days later, against the best defense in basketball, back when the rules were not conducive to offensive play, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was no freedom of movement. There was freedom to get your head handed to you if you came through the line.
Yeah.
Right? He got 55 against the New York Knicks on the road and hit Winnington when we doubled late.
Yep.
With a Luka Doncic special, like go up and at the last minute, find somebody, and he found Winnington. And so, like, I never seen anything quite like that. Like, guy goes off and plays baseball for 2 years. Hey, I want to play basketball again. 10 days later, he's getting 55 in the Garden.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, what's happening? So I would go with him in any one game.
Only
Me
4
too.
players in league history.
I mean, me too, hands down. And that story is crazy because it's true. Goes out, plays baseball, comes back, and, we're all wondering, like, does he still have it? Does he still have it? Because he's not jumping high, and, his handles are a little off. And then the way he does it, too, he lights him up for 55 points. Poor John Starks. But I'll never forget this game. 90%, because he didn't have his full game back yet. 90% of his shots that I remember were fadeaway jumpers. Just straight up. He was just posting all day on John Starks. Post up, boom, fade away. Over and over and over again. They could not stop him no matter what happened. And then he treated it like it was like a championship game, because at the very end, after he got done lighting him up for 55, all eyes on him, game-winning play, he gets doubled and finds a wide open Wennington for a game winner. Like, it was too perfect. It was like a Cinderella story.
Were teammates with both MJ and LeBron. One of them is the Tar Heel center Brendan Haywood, who played with Jordan in his rookie season. Here is his take on the GOAT debate.
Yeah, and did he play with LeBron in Cleveland?
Come on now.
Hold on.
Season. Here is his take on the GOAT debate.
Oh, stop playing. Don't do it. Come on now. if anybody in the Carolina family doesn't say that MJ is #1, they're excommunicado. Come on now. Come on now. MJ's the greatest ever. Come on. Stop.
Yeah, he is.
This man is MVP, Defensive Player of the Year.
That's insane.
He's MVP, first team all defense, finals MVP, all this, and leading the league in scoring all in the same year.
Yeah, that's insane.
Only been done 4 times, all MJ. Say that again.
Yeah, that's crazy.
First team all defense, MVP of the regular season, MVP of the finals,
scoring champion,
lead the league in scoring.
Yep.
Only been done 4 times. MJ.
Yes, sir.
That's the greatest of all time.
That's how you end the debate when with these young guys that want to talk about LeBron. That's how you end the debate with him right there. It was great playing with Mike because I got to see why he was Mike. You think a lot of times people think great players are great because they just roll out of bed and they're great. And for him, it was like, nah, the work ethic was crazy. At 40 years old, 39 years old, he done proved everything. He's still in the gym before everybody.
Yeah.
I mean,
hell, by like 32, 33 or so, he proved it. Whenever he retired the first time, he already proved it in 93. And by 94, we already called him the greatest. It was done. And then he came back, won 3 more, and then he retired. And then he came back in Washington, which is when he met him. And it was like, yeah, you definitely don't have anything left to prove, but he's still doing it. He's leading by example, and we saw that in that Cigar Aficionado long interview. And Jordan said that was a big thing he wanted to do to pass on to the next generation, was show them the work ethic it took him and the mindset to be as great as he was. So at that point, he's like full circle. He knows, yeah, I'm that guy. But I want to pass on that. I want to pass on this knowledge to the next generation, which I think is really cool. That's how every master should end their time, is by training future masters.
9 years old, he done proved everything. He's still in the gym before everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, he's there with Tim Grover lifting early, getting up shots. Like, footwork is impeccable. Had a young dude on our team by the name of Bobby Simmons. Bobby used to just all the footwork stuff that MJ was teaching. Like, yo, You read him this way. Like, yeah, when you jab this way, like everything he did was calculated. I was watching when he was teaching Bobby.
Yeah.
Obviously, he wasn't teaching me none of that stuff. You know, I couldn't do nothing with it. But he was teaching Bobby, like, yeah, when you jab, you read this way. He drops his foot this way, you counter with this. And so I started seeing this ain't by accident. He's reading your body move. He's reading your body language. Oh, you drop that top foot. I know I'm going here. That defense rotates. I know I'm getting to this fade. Like, up and unders, all that. And it's just like seeing how much work he put in, how calculated he was, and then the competitive nature.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't want to lose nothing. The young dudes in the league that were coming into the league grew up watching MJ. Like MJ would be at the jump ball, and he could sense it. Our point guard was like Chris Whitney, like, yo, see Whit, let me get it early tonight. Young fellas in all. Like you'll see certain guys, they looking at it.
He in all. I got him.
But because he'll see young fella looking at the shoes, the leg brace, like looking them up and down. Like he could tell, like certain dudes want smoke.
Yeah.
And then there's certain dudes that's looking around like, oh my God, it's MJ.
Yeah.
And MJ's cold-blooded. If you're looking at him like that, he can sense it and he's gonna try to take your heart out.
The story of LeBron.
Oh no, LeBradford's next. Yeah, that's why I love watching Wizards Jordan so much. Is that the fundamentals that Hayward's just describing there? Jordan's fundamentals. It was just he had a counter for everything, and yes, I know he had that in that second three-peat, but he was forced to utilize it more with the Wizards because he couldn't really jump that high anymore. He lost a step speed-wise, and he lost a little bounce in his step. You know what I mean? It is what it is. He was 40 years old by that point. So he was forced to be a little more grounded and rely on those fundamentals that he had. And I swear, just watching him with the ball in his hand in the post and to see what he's doing, how he's reading the defenses that are thrown at him, and even if it's just a one-on-one, how he's reading that defender, I could watch it all day. I love it because he is, like Hayward said, he's reacting in real time. Every little move you make, every posture change you make, every shift, every reach in, every step, he's making an adjustment based off every one of your moves. And that's a true master, man.
Bradford Smith and Michael Jordan is a classic in basketball circles.
Sure is.
In short, after a rough shooting night, MJ invented a story about Smith disrespecting him to fuel his competitive fire for their next matchup. It worked, and Jordan delivered a dominant performance. Here's how MJ's Bulls teammate BJ Armstrong broke it down.
Oh, no.
He had just an awful game versus the Washington Bulls.
Okay, I love BJ's stories, by the way. Like his Jordan stories are the best.
And I think he missed like 18, 19 shots in a row. I was just so impressed with his confidence, Jimmy, that he didn't hesitate. The confidence that this man had, Jimmy, was beyond. But this particular game, after the game, he wasn't happy at all. And he was, normally he's bubbly, he's playing cards, he's this, whatever. He's being MJ. But this night, he was just sitting in the back. So I thought, hey, let me just go check on this guy. And I just said, hey, man, how you doing? You all right? You good? Just checking on you. He was in the back. Everybody else is whatever, doing what they do. And he was like, yeah, I'm good. And I remember he told me, he said, whatever that kid had in the first half, I'm going to have that in the first half.
Oh, no. I mean, what he meant was whatever that guy had in the whole game, I'm going to have in the first half.
Whatever that kid did in the first game, I'm gonna have that in the first.
There
half.
it is.
The
Yeah,
confidence to say that, Jimmy, was like, man, I just watched you miss 19 shots in a row. Like the confidence was there. You know what I mean? Like you can't coach that. You can't.
No.
You can't duplicate that. Either you have that or not. Mm-hmm. I was so impressed with the 20th shot when he finally made a shot. Because I remember what he said. He was like, okay, B, I'm good now. This man had a confidence that was just beyond. And he wasn't talking it. He believed it. He believed in himself. He believed in the work he had put in. But more importantly, he just had a self-awareness that you can't imagine. And that's what I admired most about him. And even when you talk to him today, he still has that level of confidence. And it's the funniest thing because now we're all old, but he still has the confidence that he had as a young man. And that is what I give to this generation Never lose confidence in yourself by the work you put in.
Baron Davis was.
I love that too. I heard there was a story about Tim Hardaway as well, that I think he went an entire game without making one shot, and he went out the very next day, or I'm sorry, the very next game, took the very first shot of the game, nailed it, and it was done. You know, he moved on. He had a good game and a good rest of his career, but he had that same mentality, like, oh, miss 20, I'll make the 21st. And I like how he said when Jordan hit that last shot, you know, because he missed like 19 in a row or something, and he finally hit that 20th, and he was like, oh, I'm good now. I got it. You know, like, it's like he recalibrated. I don't know if you guys know, you know, for how, you know, some of you hopefully have played basketball, or you shoot around at least. You can go on a cold streak and miss 10 in a row and not understand what the hell's going on. Then you hit that one after an adjustment, and it's like you just recalibrated your entire shot. I used to have to do that a lot when I was younger, because I would shoot, lift weights, and then shoot again. So after lifting weights, like my arms and my legs feel so different by that point, and it takes less strength for me to get that shot up. So it's like I have to recalibrate it, if that makes sense.
Was one of the most electrifying point guards from the 2000s, making a name for himself while playing for the Charlotte Hornets and later for the Golden State Warriors.
Oh, Baron?
With his combination of skills, size, and explosiveness, Davis was a walking highlight reel. In an interview for the
Baron Davis was a monster.
Draymond Green podcast, he remembers one specific game in which he wasn't the show's main star, but the legendary Michael Jordan put on a show for the ages.
You know, he came into Charlotte, and it was like, that was the craziest shit I'd ever seen. There was no camera phones, but it was all kind of camera flashing, and felt like everybody was recording with a camera phone. That's how many cameras was flashing when he went to the free throw line. I had 32 that night, and in my mind, I was like, damn, bro, like, I'm Michael Jordan tonight. You know what I mean? And then we go on the road, and we're playing the Washington Wizards. We like, man, we about to go in here. We about to pop them again. I'm about to give me another, you know, I'm about to give me another 25.
No, when you beat Michael Jordan, you better watch out the next time, because he remembers this.
12, I'm going to do it different on the road. And I watched this dude in the first quarter score 17 points.
Oh, he went off.
Draymond, I watched. I was not participating, bro. I was so mesmerized. I was guarding T-Lou. Hey, if you watch the clip,
T-Lou,
you'll see me. Never help. Never help.
He's
the coach
mesmerized.
called timeout. He like, yo, what the hell y'all doing? Y'all just gonna let this man get cooked? It was Lee Nayland. I said, damn, bro, my bad. I was just watching. Like, I got your help. I was like, man, I got your help. Let me get him. So I guard him the first time. I know he going to the fade. So boom, he go to the fade, and I'm on top of the fade. He go to fade. I'm like, man, get that shit. And he leaned back, like another inch and shoot the ball.
I know.
Jordan against Barron.
I see it all the time, especially in, you know, his final 5 seasons. People guarding his fadeaway perfectly, and he just gets like a half an inch room. I don't want to say never, but it practically never got blocked on his fadeaway. Yet everyone knows he's going to do it, and they still can't block him. It's incredible. I go back to think about his final All-Star game, that final shot in regulation, that fadeaway where Sean Marion was guarding him, and it should have been the game winner. Sean Marion is right there within like a half an inch, and Jordan has to do this ultra fadeaway where he's pretty much laying on his back in midair. It's the sickest thing ever. But you can't stop him.
43.
Yeah, man. Look,
Jordan.
like, he's right there. Look at the hand. The hand is right there. You think that's a block?
Against Barron.
No.
43.
Okay. All right. Man, I got this fool. He go to the post again. Boom, boom, I know this shit coming. You about to turn to the middle. Boom, boom, turn to the middle. Oh, up and under.
Gotcha.
Layup.
Yep.
Hey, somebody else get this.
Yeah.
I'm going back over here with T. Lou.
I want to watch.
about to watch.
Yeah, I'd rather watch.
Cool. This is not cool. Hey, dude, that's what, and you know, you see somebody like Mike like that, and LeBron, Like, it's the same thing. It's like, be careful, because they gonna remember. But that Mike story was like, damn, dude, like, I'm just watching him. I'm like, damn, dude, what kind of cologne you got? Like, what kind of cologne? This nigga smell good as shit out here. Whatever it was, Michael Jordan he was like an enigma, dude. He was like
I would have thought he smelled like cigars.
It was just like, oh shit.
MJ is still widely considered the GOAT thanks to his legendary NBA career, which included 6 championships and an unbeaten record in the NBA Finals.
Yes, sir.
While those achievements are often cited as reasons for his greatness, Gilbert Arenas believes MJ earned the GOAT title even before all of that.
As players, we're factoring in our numbers.
By the way, yeah, he did. He did after 93. So by 1994, he already established it.
Right, our rings, and saying, no, we should be able, I have leading title, I'm beating him in every stat. Why y'all not putting me in front of him? Answer is, he was the NBA. When Bird and Magic was, battling, and when Jordan came in, what they seen was a whole different animal, right? You're seeing something that is different, moves different, talks different, approaches the game different, swag, phenomenal, right? This is the best thing we've seen. Right? I don't give a fuck what he does. This is the best player we've ever seen. Right? It was the eye test. People don't realize that he got the logo in '88. Right? They took the wings off and say, you got Jordan. Right? So that whole campaign, and that is considered the greatest individual year anybody could have had. That's when he became the best player ever. There was no ring. There was no, rings is just what
Yeah, but again, he's talking best player versus greatest. The greatness came from the winning, the championships. MJ was already the best player by 1985, if I'm going to be real. Like, he was the best on the court. Individually, no, he did not have the best team, not even close. But as an individual, even Larry Bird would admit it. That's the best basketball. He actually did admit it. That's the best basketball player I've ever seen. Bobby Knight said it. Like, so many people had said it already. They'd never seen anybody as good as him. But once again, you could be really awesome of a basketball player, but not go down as the greatest. And you have to win. And Jordan, all that winning that he did, by that third championship on that three-peat, he was already considered the greatest. 3 more, definitely the greatest. But yeah, you can hear Gil saying best. Yes, there's a big difference, though, between best and greatest. I look at somebody like Tracy McGrady, and I would like to say he's one of the best basketball players I've ever seen. On the tier list of greatness, though, you got to factor in his playoff record, and no, he's not anywhere close in that level of greatness.
There was no ring. There was no, rings is just what they get to use now. 6, it was just the way he did it. He carried what we have now, solo mission. It's hard to beat solo mission with stats.
MJ and Lakers legend James Worthy shared the court as teammates for one season at the University of North Carolina.
Wow, I forget that he literally did go by Mike. It was Mike Jordan. He brings it up all the time. Also, I forget. Looks like he grew 1 more inch. Hit his 20s.
Chapel Hill. Together, they led the Tar Heels to an NCAA championship. During a recent appearance on the Byron Scott podcast, Worthy reflected on his short but unforgettable time playing alongside Jordan. He admitted it didn't take long for the young guard to surpass him as the better college
Yeah, so then it comes in Michael Jordan by the next season.
Player.
I was with Michael. He was a freshman my junior year. We only had 4 or 5 months together, really.
Yeah. Right.
But, the story I tell about Michael, man, I was better than him.
Yeah, he was.
For about 3 weeks. And I enjoyed those 3 weeks.
There's Byron Scott with him laughing.
Because I saw something in that boy that he didn't have it quite yet. He was learning, but he would seek out the best in everything. Chess, backgammon, he won. And if he lost, he was irately mad. Like he just won a game, like he lost a game 7. So we practiced, 2.5 hours. We running them sprints. You're tired. Now you got to go to study hall. I'm trying to get off the floor. Here he comes, pushing me. Where you going, young fella? Where you going? You scared? So he always wanted to play a little one-on-one.
Yeah.
So we played a little bit. He was just a bad boy.
In 1995,
It's crazy. One-on-one, anybody who's afraid of one-on-one, like you don't want to improve your defense or your ISO skills. You got to embrace one-on-one. Absolutely focus on the team game, but you got to play some one-on-one afterwards. If not, you won't get better on an individual ISO level. And if your team needs a bucket with 5 seconds left in the fourth quarter to win a game or go to overtime or whatever, you better have those plays practiced. And then also for the defensive end, you got no weak side help. So if you want to learn how to lock down your opponent, one-on-one, man.
John Sally joined MJ on the Chicago Bulls after years of competing against him as a member of the Detroit Pistons. Having experienced MJ both as a rival and a teammate, Sally brought plenty of incredible Jordan stories to share during his appearance on the Byron Scott podcast.
My only problem with Sally's stories is he's so freaking baked all the time. It's hard to know what's real and what's not.
You know, Ron Harper used to give Michael the numbers. Well, then people don't know that. When he was healthy, MJ, we had a practice. And Phil said, tell him to go home. And he didn't know why. And he waited. And he was like, all right, we're playing for minutes, scrimmage for minutes. And MJ came in, nah, you ain't putting me out. And he had on regular tennis shoes. They looked like Vans, but they were Nike. And he had his sweats cut and rolled at the bottom. You know, he thought he was fly. He wasn't. You know, you don't say nothing to the Messiah. He was like, yeah, put all the Pistons on that team, Wood Harp, and put Randy Brown over there. And Harp was pissed. And all of a sudden, I'm running back, and MJ gets a steal. And I go, and he's about to do the right-hand jump. I said, oh, I know exactly what dunk you're going to try. I'm getting this. I don't care. And I drop step and turn around about to jump. And as I'm about to jump, his midsection is moving past my face. And you know, you try to bring yourself down. He was like, block this, bitch. Boom.
That was like a Chappelle thing right there. Man, fuck your couch.
And I'm like, I take the ball out the room. I'm staying in the hotel behind the facility. So I would jump the fence. And I go home, I call my mother. She's like, how is it? I said, Ma, I just saw the greatest player of all time. She said, it took you that long to admit it.
Right?
I go, yeah, it took me this long to admit it. But I just saw him playing tennis shoes, no tape, no knee brace, no wristband, sweatpants on, t-shirt, and a practice jersey, and thought he was in the finals against us.
Yeah.
Like he literally thought he was reliving the 80s. And I was like, yeah, this dude is on next level. He is. And we would go out to play against somebody, and, you know, MJ coming, everybody's happy to see him, but even in the back when you're about to put your hands together, he was hella intense.
Yeah.
He was the last to come out. So we would all run out, and then MJ would be the last. That would scare. If you looking down there, you go, oh my God, MJ. Oh, here come the devil now. You know,
you hope he wasn't showing up, right?
Yes, he was, and my locker was here at the United Center, and he was right here, and I would watch him put his sock up, and then look at this sock, and then like had to be the same height, and then he would, you know, everything had to, like he was a gladiator. And I was like, I don't even think people realize how psycho this dude is. All you gotta do, pull his shirt out a little bit, it's gonna piss him off. It needs to be tucked perfectly. Just mess up his outfit. You know, that's the only way to stop him, to make him think about anything else but destroying you. And his mentality was destroy you.
Yeah.
Demean you. Finish you. Shouldn't even be on court.
Yeah.
It's the best thought in the world.
For life.
Yeah.
When every time you face him, he wanted to make you feel like, man, I ain't got nothing, I can't do nothing with this dude. I don't even want to play tonight. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to make you quit.
Do you ever see Coach when he's standing there with his arm folded when he was a Laker coach? That's what he wanted you to do. I want to go home. I want to go home right now.
I know a lot of guys who played against him that wanted to go home too. It was like, man, I'm gonna foul him just so you can put me on the bench. I ain't got to play against him. I mean, there were some guys that just didn't want to play with him. Yeah, they didn't want to play against him.
Yeah,
he really did want. And I would tell people this all the time. Spotty.
People did that with Shaq too, by the way. Could get some quick fouls and just screw this. I don't want to take the bullying anymore.
Like, so how was it guarding Michael Jordan? I said, well, the way I guarded Michael is I'm going to play back. I'm going to make him shoot jump shots. I said, but the other thing is every time he hit a shot, I was like, man, good shot, MJ. That's a hell of a shot, dog. I'm right there. I said, if you kill him with kindness, I said, but if you talk shit, just one little word, you might have, man, that's all he needs.
DeMar DeRozan is a 6-time All-Star and one of the NBA's elite mid-range scorers. He has modeled his game around the same principles MJ employed playing with the Wizards, relying on skill, footwork, and basketball IQ to outsmart defenders.
Okay, I think I know what this one is, and if it is, I did a reaction to this one. He's cool stuff. He's going to talk about Wizards Jordan.
By studying Jordan's ability to dominate without relying on athleticism, DeRozan has maintained his effectiveness on the court, even as he moves into the later stages of his career. For DeRozan, MJ's time with the Wizards stands as a masterclass in how to extend one's career and remain a top-tier player through fundamentals and mental toughness.
Yes, sir.
If you sit and just watch
I love this.
Wizards Jordan and see how incredible he was from 38 to 40 years old, the way he scored the ball, the way he was able to create his shots from the post, from the elbow, off one dribble, off two dribbles, stop, pull up.
I'm sorry. How quick this reaction was from MJ.
From the post.
Okay, so he's up. He knows he's going to get blocked right there. Within a split second. Now watch him adjust. Under. That quickly. Got you. Off the glass. I'm sorry. This guy is just crazy.
Off two dribbles, stop, pull up. How physical he was in the post, how he was able to create contact and still get to the basket. He wasn't athletic like he was, but still being able to, finish over guys. It was so incredible because it was such a master of art. How simple he just made the game. It's just playing off jab steps, pump fakes, and I used to watch every bit of Wizards Jordan because it was like, if he doing this at this age, let me figure out how to master and these things that he doing, because you don't see everybody doing it. Everybody want to do the dribble.
Yep, ISO.
Double step back, all that. And it's like, nah, let me make the game simple and kill these spots and angles and using my body on a fadeaway, either shoulder. So that's one thing that I took from Wizards Mike, because he was incredible. If you really watch him, he was incredible.
Yep.
On a bad knee. If you just go back
And this
and
was
watch.
so cool because I've been saying this since 2002, 2003. And everybody, including my own brother, who is probably even a bigger Jordan fan than I am, but he hates the Wizards years because he's more about legacy than I am. And I'm more about the joy and the love of the game. So we kind of battle it out a little bit on those debates about the Wizards years. I love the Wizards years, but to see a current player in the NBA actually not only bring it up, but you can tell he's for real, and he has studied it, because the way he's talking about the fundamentals, the footwork, that's literally all the stuff I keep talking about, and it's just cool. It's 21 years later. And his impact just from those final 2 years is still in play. Because before that, we had Kobe, we had T-Mac, we had Paul Pierce, Vince Carter, and a bunch of guys like that. Stackhouse. There's so many more that I'm not thinking of right now that he influenced. But he influenced even somebody who's still around. And I think that's so cool.
Mike with the Wizards, he was cold.
One player, his airness, has a close relationship.
Jamal Crawford. Actually, I was trying to think of his name a second ago when I stuttered there. Yep, Jamal Crawford's another one.
Is the 3-time 6th Man of the Year winner, Jamal Crawford. The GOAT was a fan of Crawford's game since he entered the league in 2000 and played for the Chicago Bulls. As the years passed, Jamal witnessed some spectacular plays from MJ, especially in the many summer runs he played wherein Mike was his teammate.
Okay. Quick little story that he's probably not going to tell. I just recently found out from him that Jamal Crawford played Michael Jordan, the young Michael Jordan, in that Nike commercial where it's old Jordan versus rookie Jordan, and old Jordan's like talking trash and like teaching the young buck the fundamentals. That was Jamal Crawford as young Jordan, and Jordan handpicked him to do the job. I had no idea.
Podcast P, Crawford shared how Jordan left everyone's jaws on the floor with a sensational play he pulled off when he was 40 years old.
I really, and it's so weird, there's probably 2 or 3 times in my life where I felt my game like jump up, like a level or two. And that was one of those times. And I was playing off of him. He's the guy, but I literally, I don't know for a fact, but it felt like I hit 80% of my shots off of him that summer. Like, I felt my game going to a whole nother level, and it was making its way around the thing. Like, man, that little Bulls guard, because I hadn't done shit yet. But like, man, that Bulls guard can go. I'm telling you, that Bulls guard can go. But I'm playing off of him, right? And so I remember one time I threw a full court. I'm like, oh, as soon as I let it go, I'm like, oh shit, I threw that too far. Man, this man at 40 years old, he jumped up with one hand.
Yeah.
He dribbled the ball and dunked with one hand. I was like, oh shit. Like, it looked like some Bulls. I'm like, oh, this is crazy.
Facing Michael Jordan.
Damn, is he saying that he caught it with one hand? Like a full court shot?
Was the toughest challenge for guards in the 1980s and 1990s. Just the thought of going head-to-head with the Bulls legend was enough to intimidate most players, many admitting they had nightmares about playing against the 6-time NBA champion. But for Vernon Maxwell, it wasn't nightmares that kept him up. It was the sheer anticipation of facing the 5-time MVP that left him unable to sleep the night before their matchups.
Well, your ass better get some sleep tonight.
Oh, I love this. I've seen this.
I'm gonna tell you now, that's one motherfucker right there. Now, I used to go lay down and elevate my fucking feet above my heart. Like my mom used to say, put your feet above your heart, baby, before you play him. It's gonna bring some energy back to you.
Okay, before he finishes, I just want everybody who doesn't know who Mad Max is. Like, Mad Max he was like a junkyard dog on the court. So to get a compliment like this from a guy like him it means everything. Like it's insane because this guy went out there trying to kill everybody. Mad Max was a monster.
I'm country boy, so I used to lift my eyes and do it damn what my mama used to say. That's the only motherfucker I used to stay home. My wife used to be glad for that. When Mike come in town, because I really never used to stay home. Yeah. My wife used to be glad when Mike come in town. She said, oh, this nigga, look at his ass now, because Mike in here. Look at this nigga now, he gonna lay his ass down now. Yeah, because this Black Jesus, man. That's why I call him, man, the best player I ever played against, man. I mean, it's no comparison.
Phil Jackson is regarded as one of the best.
I like the direction he was going to. It is no comparison. MJ number 1, everybody else fight for 2.
If not the best, head coaches of all time. After all, Jackson was at the helm of 2 of the most legendary dynasties in NBA history. The Chicago Bulls of the 1990s and the Los Angeles Lakers in the 2000s, where he had the opportunity to coach a young and up-and-coming Kobe Bryant alongside one of the most physically dominant players of all time, Shaquille O'Neal. However, when asked which of the players he coached Phil would start his franchise with, the legendary coach wasted no time providing a clear answer.
Michael Jordan has got to be the first pick. He was extremely coachable.
Yeah, I reacted to this one too. Yeah, he hesitated. He didn't hesitate at all right away. He said Michael Jordan, he's extremely coachable.
Mark Jackson's first year in the NBA was MJ's best season ever. Many consider Jordan's 1987-88 campaign to be the greatest year ever by an NBA player.
Yeah.
In that season, MJ led the league in scoring, steals, and minutes played. He won the dunk contest at the All-Star break and went on to become the first player in NBA history to win both the MVP and Defensive Player of the Year awards in the same season.
And he got
Jordan
the
was
scoring
so
title
unstoppable that year that opposing teams had to be creative in finding ways to contain him. Even
Dunk contest winner, MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, scoring champion. He did everything but win a ring that year.
That meant going the extra mile. Here's what the young Mark Jackson and the Knicks tried
Anybody
to
know, did he win the All-Star Game MVP as well? I wouldn't put it past him.
off.
He was a different level. He was an absolute different level. Playing against him in the league. So we're playing the Bulls. I never told this story. I was benched, so we're playing the Bulls. So I get a call the night before. We'll play some cards and hang out, whatever, just chill. I go into the city, go to Mike's room, play cards. I'm not playing. I know I'm benched, so I'm playing cards. I'm doing my job. I'm gonna keep him up all night. We playing cards all night. So shoot around is at 10 in the morning. We finish playing at 8. I gotta now drive so I'm not late. So I get no sleep. I drive to SUNY Purchase practice facility. We practice. Game that night. I take a quick nap. Gotta hit the road. Game in the Garden. I'm sitting on the bench. I am tired. I'm sitting there like, this dude got 50. How is this dude still surviving? But he did it to everybody and every single night.
Kobe Bryant's career has often been defined by comparisons to MJ, and not without reason.
Why does every Jordan story end with "and he got 50"? Like, what the hell?
His earliest days in the league, Kobe sought to emulate the man he regarded as the ultimate player. His relentless drive, signature moves, and competitive spirit mirrored those of the GOAT, earning him the moniker, the next MJ. For someone who idolized the Chicago Bulls guard, he didn't just want to play like him, he wanted to become him. However, according to the great Penny Hardaway, there was one interesting area the two were much different.
Kobe, being a fearless warrior and champion who mimicked his game after MJ. And what MJ had over Kobe was so different, or I should say Kobe's approach versus MJ's approach. MJ was like, I'm giving all y'all at 70. Like, if I go to Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, he did that 50-50-50, I don't know how, 2 or 3 times in his career. Think about going 50-50-50, San Antonio, Houston, Dallas.
Yeah.
What Kobe did when he had problems was, I'm marking Penny Hardaway down on my list. I'm marking Baron Davis down on my list. I'm putting Gary Payton on my list. I'm putting all these top dudes on my list, and I'm gonna knock them off one by one.
Yeah.
MJ never said, he said, I ain't doing none of that. I'm just coming in and I'm killing y'all.
So I'll let him finish.
Kobe had to start off a little slower. Rookie year, he kind of struggled a little bit. Beat a year in LA, and then you knew he was coming though. But he made this list of names, and boy, did he scratch off.
Yeah, he did.
He scratched all the names off that list.
He did.
I reacted to that's the end of the video, by the way. I reacted to this podcast as well with Penny Hardaway recently, and I think I kind of missed that segment that he was covering right there, because I guess I see the difference. What Penny is, and I don't know if I agree with Penny on here. Let me know what you guys think. But Penny's, from what I understand, he's kind of saying Kobe was more about like individual matchups, like this guy, like Penny Hardaway or Paul Pierce or whoever it is that are his rivals. Like, I'm gonna kill that guy. But he's talking about the individual. While Jordan was more like, I hate the Knicks, I hate the Pistons. You know, he had these teams that he hated. And it wasn't about the individual matchup as much as it was like, I'm going to kill your team. And I don't know. I guess I can kind of see it. But I also know that Jordan was really hardcore into those individual matchups as well. So let me know what you guys think there. First of all, thank you for the suggestion for this video. If you guys can't tell, Squad Dawkins, fantastic basketball content. Like, he literally, like, I reacted to almost all of these individually. That took a lot of work, finding all of those podcasts and finding those segments. And he literally straight up just took all those and popped them on one video. Boom. Like, that's some good work, man. So thank you for the recommendation for reacting to this. I'm glad I did it. Let me know what you guys thought. My voice is a little hoarse today. I made a big boo-boo, and I was doing a whole bunch of cleaning in my house this morning before I hit the record button here. So, yeah, I have got some allergies up to wazoo. So I think, considering this is probably going to be a super long video already, I'll probably dip out on the After Dark tonight. Unless I start clearing up, then you might see me back on here with another video for the After Dark, but no promises tonight, all right, guys? But anyways, thank you for watching. Check out Squad's channel. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this. And I appreciate you all. See you all in the comments. We'll have a good conversation as we always do. And peace out, everybody.